Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1977, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. Which Irish airport is known as a major transatlantic gateway and was the first in the world to offer duty-free shopping? Shannon Airport. What is the title of Carson McCullers' debut novel that explores loneliness and the search for connection in a small southern town? The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Which high-profile attorney who once defended Albert DeSalvo, the man accused of being the Boston Strangler, later represented Patty Hearst? F. Lee Bailey. Which red-haired actress, born Margarita Cancino, is said to have inspired the name of the margarita cocktail? Rita Hayworth. Which 1980 cult film, directed by John Landis, starred John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd? The Blues Brothers. What is the most consumed beverage in North America by volume? Water. Which capital city is home to the Temple of the Emerald Buddha, which was built during the reign of King Rama I? Bangkok. Which artist released the album Relapse in 2009, marking a return to music after a hiatus? Eminem. Which famous stone near Cork, Ireland, is said to bestow the gift of eloquence on those who kiss it? Blarney Stone. In which Scottish dockyard town was the ship Cutty Sark built? Dumbarton. In which European country is Sabadell Airport located? Spain. Which element do certain root nodule bacteria convert into a form usable by plants to improve soil fertility? Nitrogen. Which mosquito-borne virus was linked to an increase in babies born with microcephaly, abnormally small heads? Zika virus. What body of water do Germans call the Bodensee? Answer: Lake Constance. What advanced ability do children with the condition hyperlexia often exhibit? They can read, often decoding written words at an unusually early age. Which historical figure was exiled to St. Helena after his defeat and spent his final years there? Napoleon Bonaparte. In which county of the Republic of Ireland is the Blarney Stone located? Cork. What is the organ responsible for secreting insulin? Pancreas. Which female tennis player dominated women's tennis in the 1980s and won 18 Grand Slam singles titles in her career? Martina Navratilova. What vital safety device did Elisha Otis invent in 1852? A safety brake for elevators. Which scholar published the first printed edition of the Greek New Testament in the early 16th century? Desiderius Erasmus, Erasmus of Rotterdam. What was the religion of King James II of England, whose reign was marked by conflict over religious tolerance? Catholicism. If something is described as simian, what kind of animal does it resemble? A primate? A monkey or ape? Who served as the President of the Confederate States of America while the capital was located in Richmond? Jefferson Davis. Which Turkish city straddles both Europe and Asia across the Bosporus Strait? Istanbul. Which animated character received 800,000 fan letters in 1933? Mickey Mouse. Which author wrote the fantasy novel The Hobbit? J.R.R. Tolkien. Which U.S. state contains Marietta, the first permanent settlement in the Northwest Territory? Ohio. Which U.S. military decoration created in 2013 for service members who supported combat but were not physically in a combat zone was canceled in April 2013? Distinguished Warfare Medal. What is the currency of Turkey? Turkish lira. Which Italian astronomer and physicist famously supported heliocentrism, arguing that the sun, not the earth, is at the center of the solar system? Galileo Galilei. Which U.S. state is named on the label of a Jack Daniel's whiskey bottle? Tennessee. Which apostle betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver? Judas Iscariot. Which 19th century American frontiersman is famously associated with wearing a coonskin cap and is often called a man of the frontier? Davy Crockett. Which song from Alicia Keys' 2012 album became a widely recognized anthem of empowerment and resilience, associated with strength and independence? Girl on Fire. Which magician is known for popularizing street magic and became famous for televised specials and high-profile endurance stunts? David Blaine. What is the name of Mickey Mouse's dog, originally known as Rover, before being renamed? Pluto. Which iconic musician was famously backed by the vocal group the Jordanaires during his rise to fame in the 1950s? Elvis Presley. Which French artist, known for his vibrant use of color and depictions of Tahitian life, spent a significant part of his later career in Tahiti? Paul Gauguin. Which classic animated film, based on Rudyard Kipling's collection of stories, features the bear Baloo? The Jungle Book. Until 2019, which African country had its capital in Bujumbura? Burundi. If the term cow refers only to female cattle, what are male cattle called? Bulls. Which famous French red wine region, renowned for Pinot Noir and its picturesque vineyards, is known as Bourgogne in French? Answer: Burgundy, Bourgogne. Which U.S. city is home to Figueroa Street, a thoroughfare approximately 30 miles long? Los Angeles, California. Which compound exercise is commonly recommended for building strength and size in the lower body, especially the posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings, and lower back? Deadlift. How many strings are there in total on the four instruments of a traditional string quartet? 16. During lacrimation, what is produced? Tears. Which 17th century French painter created the controversial painting Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe? Édouard Manet. Which operetta features a character named Frederick, who is mistakenly apprenticed to a band of pirates until his 21st birthday? The Pirates of Penzance. Which act is often described as calculated and said to be more satisfying when delayed? Revenge. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.